On deck, I believe, is her husband, Robert Burke, and his vehicle number 68, a 2017 Cadillac CTS-V. He's running on a 188.6 number from yesterday. Let's see if he can bump that up a little bit today. Looks like he's already through the quarter at a 131 and a half at a 162.3. There's a good chance he could bump that personal best of yesterday up just a little bit. A 190.4. Congratulations on raising your weekend personal best, Mr. Burke. On deck is vehicle number 97. That's going to be Paul Laurent and his 2017 Camaro ZL1. Looks like his personal number yesterday is a 199.7. Now this ZL1 is going to be a supercharged V8. This is going to be about his fifth time coming out to the Texas Mile, and he's hoping to get a 200-mile-an-hour speed number. Right now on a 199.7, I'd say the odds are ever in his favor. All right, he did 139.4 at the quarter and 177.5 at the half. And 199.9 at the mile, upping his personal best by 0.2. Congratulations. On deck is vehicle number 911. That's going to be Ross Rayfield in a white 2015 Chevrolet Camaro SS. It looks like a personal best yesterday. It's going to be a 190.3. This is a bone stock Camaro SS. He's hoping to get about 170 and a half mile and about a 200 and a mile. Let's see what he does here on this pass. .5 at the quarter and 163.9 at the half. And a 193 flat at the mile. Congratulations on a new personal best for the weekend, Mr. Rayfield. All right, motorcycle number 3161 by Kenny Brown in a white 2008 Suzuki Hayabusa. Looks like he's already done 143 at the quarter. And 164.2 at the half. He's running on a 173 number from yesterday. And 175.1. Way to bump up your personal best. Next on deck is motorcycle 318. That's going to be Tommy Fabergrass in his 2012 Kawasaki ZX14R. He's going to be running on a 208 number personal best from yesterday. Let's see if this cold air this morning gets him a little bump. .157.3 at the quarter. That is moving. 184.2 at the half. Definitely looks like that 2.8 number could be in trouble. Looks like something wasn't to his liking, and he got out of it before the mile. And that's one of the things you got to take into consideration here, folks. If something doesn't feel okay on the run, it's always the best bet to get out of it and check and make sure everything is safe. So once he becomes clear, we'll run the next motorcycle on track. Well, this looks to be 319. That's going to be Tony Corletto and his black 1999 Suzuki Hayabusa. Looks like his personal best on this machine is a 157.4. 1999 is the first year of the Suzuki Hayabusa. When they came out, that was the year that the Hayabusa was unregulated. Shortly thereafter, Congress got involved, and they decided they wanted to start regulating motorcycles, and they decided that, we'll tell you what, we won't make anything faster, and you guys leave us alone. And so, but the 1999s speedometers went up to 220 miles an hour. Looks like that Hayabusa did 124.1 at the quarter. And 125.7 at the half. Looks like something's not to his liking. He may be out of this run. He ended up with a 157.2. So he definitely left a little on the table between the quarter and the half. Hopefully he gets that dialed in, and his next run's a little bit bigger speed. On deck is going to be vehicle 814. That's going to be Patrick Hart in his 2023 Dodge Hellcat. Looks like Patrick's racing on a 171, personal best from yesterday. All right, looks like Mr. Hart just went through the half at a 121.7. All right, once that vehicle becomes clear, we'll send the next racer down. That's vehicle 87. That's Steve Altenberg in his 2016 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. He's racing on a 180 mile an hour number from yesterday. It looks like that Z06 just did 150.5 at the half. And a 177.6 at the mile. All right, on deck we have vehicle number 321. That's going to be Gerald Wood and his 2006 Chevrolet Corvette. Looks like Mr. Wood has done about a 164 yesterday. All right, looks like that Corvette did 119 at the quarter and 142 at the half. And a 166 even at the mile. On deck, we have vehicle number 76. That's a 1983 Datsun 280ZX. This is going to be piloted by Donald Vance. This is going to be this racecraft's first pass this weekend, but Mr. Vance has been out and raced her with us several events prior. All right, looks like we got a 116 and a quarter and a 147.2 at the half. And a 175.3 at the mile. All right, coming down the track is vehicle number 8169. This is going to be Dennis Moulton and his orange 2010 Camaro SS. This is the first class this weekend for this particular racecraft. Looks like you went through the quarter at a 121.4 and a half at a 151.7. And the mile at a 177.1. All right, looks like on deck we have vehicle number 376. That's going to be Greg Davies and his 2016 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Looks like Mr. Davis did a 165.3 yesterday, 121 at the quarter, and 148.2 at the half. And a 165.7 at the mile. All right, on deck is vehicle number 176. That's Tim G in his red 2009 Shelby GT 500. Mr. G went 179.5 yesterday. All right, it looks like Mr. G has gone 122 at the quarter and 151 at the half. And just went to the mile at a 177.4. On deck is vehicle number 90. That's going to be Tom Gimple and his white 2019 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. This Corvette has previously done 197.8 and it's going to be one of our sponsors, Riverwood Racing. Riverwood Racing is a great group of guys who live on the same street and share a passion for speed. Thank you for sponsoring Riverwood Racing, official sponsor of the Texas Mile. And it looks like he's up his personal best to a 198.4. All right, on track is going to be another Riverwood Racing contestant. That's number 161. That's Paul Laparto, and his 2017 Shelby GT 350. Looks like he wasn't happy with something, folks, and so it's always a good move to go ahead and pull off track. Once he becomes clear, that everything's tracks all clear all the way down, we'll run the next contestant. And that looks like that's going to be 469, Steve McNew in his gray 2022 Ford Mustang Mach 1. Looks like he's racing on a 170 and a half record from yesterday. Looks like he did a 155.6 at the half. A 173.3 at the mile, bumping his personal best for the weekend. Congratulations. On deck is going to be vehicle 303. That's going to be Corey Howard in his white 2023 Dodge Charger. This has got a Hennessy Hellcat motor in it. That's a 1,000 horsepower supercharged motor. They're hoping to get about 195 mile an hour out of it this weekend. Looks like a 129 at the corner and a 157.9 at the half, and just went through the mile at a 180.1. On deck is vehicle number 3. This is going to be a black 2021 Jeep Trackhawk, also with the Hennessy supercharged 1,000 horsepower motor. This is going to be the second driver in this vehicle, Crystal Hay, I believe. Looks like they're through the quarter at a 122.2 and a half and a 146.7. And a 168.6 at the mile. All right, right, vehicle number 83 is on the track, and that's going to be Wes Good with his red 2008 Chevrolet Corvette. Looks like he's running on a 166 personal best for the weekend. And a 168.5. On deck is going to be vehicle number 917. That's going to be Sam Martin in his blue 2022 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat. Looks like he's trying to up a personal best for the weekend of a 176 even. Looks like this Hellcat just went through the quarter at a 124.8 and a half at a 154.8. And the mile at a 177.6. On deck is vehicle number 168. That's Steve Hilton and his gray 2022 BMW X6M SUV. Looks like he did a 166.4 this weekend. Looks like the BMW did a 118.9 at the quarter and a 142.4 at the half. And a 161.6 at the mile. All right, on deck is going to be car vehicle number 22. That's going to be Richard Sturm and his black 2011 Corvette Grand Sport. Looks like his number best number for the weekend is a 205.7. Already in a 139 at the quarter and a 170.7 at the half. Looks like we're going to get a 200-mile-an-hour speed number out of this pass. 203.7. All right, motorcycle number 59, that's going to be a 2006 Yamaha R1, piloted by Joseph Turk. He looks like he's racing on a 163 speed from yesterday. All right, looks like that R1 just did 136 at the quarter and 156 at the half. And a 169 even at the mile. All right, back going down the track is going to be our top motorcycle speed for the weekend. That's going to be bike number 737, piloted by Clifton Knight. Looks like he's already done 144 at the quarter, and he's getting ready to exit the half-mile speed with a speed of 182.9. Now that's moving on a 2014 Kawasaki Ninja ZX14R. He is racing on a 216 personal best from yesterday, and just under 216 flat. His personal best of yesterday was 216.1, so he's right there knocking on the door. All right, track is clear, and vehicle 93393 is going down track. That's going to be Colin Goss and his white 2013 BMW M3. Looks like he's hoping to race his personal best for the weekend of a 154.7. All right, and that BMW did a 153.6. All right, going down the track is going to be motorcycle 112. That's going to be James Garofalo and his 2024 Kawasaki Ninja ZX10R. Looks like he's racing on a 148 speed, personal best for the weekend. Already through the quarter at a 109.5 at a 131. And he bumped his personal best to a 151.8. Congratulations, Mr. Garofalo, on the top speed of the weekend of a 151.8. On deck is going to be vehicle number 51. This is going to be Tracy Higginbottom, the wife of the couple of Ted Higginbottom. She's going to be racing her red 2019 Chevrolet Corvette. She did 201.5 in this yesterday. This machine is going to be built and serviced here by M2K Motorsports. They're a silver sponsor, a little shop out of Katy, Texas. They're responsible for that 300-mile-an-hour Ford GT Pass. They actually build and support a lot of the vehicles that are going to be here on track, and they're all standing at the line with her, watching her go down the event right now. Now Tracy is moving already to the corner at a 140.5. At the half at a 172.3. And increasing her personal best for the weekend to a 203.6. All right, taking off the line is going to be John Banner and his vehicle number 953. That's a 2018 Camaro ZL1. He's going on a personal best for the weekend of a 211.9. He's at the quarter at a 117.4. Looks like he aborted the run. His half-mile speed was lower than the quarter. So let's hope he figures out whatever's going on with that vehicle and it gets back up to the line. All right, online it's going to be vehicle number 956. This is going to be the wife of the previous driver. This is Kathy O'Connor Bader, and her red 2017 Corvette Z06. Looks like her personal best for the weekend is going to be a 172.5. All right, looks like that 2017 Corvette is on track. Just went to the quarter mile at a 126.3 and a half at a 152.9. And the 1 mile speed of a 174.5. All right, on deck is vehicle number 64, and that's going to be Bob the Pole and his charcoal 1964 Pontiac GTO. Now, this vehicle is running on a 195.6 record for personal best for the weekend. He's also a sponsor of the event, Bob's Auto Express Shop, based out of Spring, Texas. Thanks so much for being a special sponsor of the Texas Mile. All right, it looks like that 64 has got a little bit of a mechanical issue. They're going to push it off the line and bring the next racer up. Up on deck, it looks like we have vehicle number 98. That's going to be Lisa Nicholson and her Jeep Trailhawk. She's running on about a 184.8 personal best for the weekend. All right, so looks like Lisa Nicholson went to the trap at a 178.1. On deck, we have a vehicle number 49. That's going to be Doug Masters in a black 2012 Mini Cooper S. This is going to be the first pass this weekend for this particular racecraft. right, looks like that Mini just went through the quarter at a 92.2 and a half at a 113.8. And the 1 mile speed trap at a 133.1. On deck is going to be vehicle number 159. That's going to be Joe Masters on his first pass of the weekend. That's going to be a silver 2007 Dodge Magnum SXT wagon. All right, it looks like that Dodge Magnum just did an 87 at the quarter and a 103 at the half. It just went through the mile at a 121.3. On deck, we have vehicle number 420. That's going to be a Randy Ray in her black 2009 Cadillac CTSV. Looks like she's trying to up a personal best of a 187.4. Looks like that caddy just went through the quarter at a 127.6 and a half at a 156.9. And the mile speed of a 186.3. All right, I think we have Aaron Brown going down the track on his 2012 Suzuki Hayabusa. That's a 150 at the quarter and a 176 and a half, going through the mile at a 191.3. All right, looks like motorcycle 89 is on deck. That's going to be Russell White in his 2012 Suzuki Hayabusa. This can be the first pass for this motorcycle this weekend. All right, looks like that Hayabusa just did a 192 even going through the mile. All right, on deck, wait for clear track is vehicle number 3, motorcycle 319. That's going to be Tony Corletto in a black 1999 Hayabusa. All right, it looks like that Hayabusa is at a 123 at the quarter and a 147 at the half. And a 157.2 at the mile. On deck, we have motorcycle number 173. This is going to be the first pass for this event for Matthew Coulter. This is going to be a 2025 Harley-Davidson VR SCDX Night Rod Special. All right, it looks like that Harley just did 82.6 at the quarter and a 104.5 at the half mile. And it looks like he did a 139.1 at the mile. On deck is going to be motorcycle 4646. This is going to be Michael Engerstein in a black 2004 Yamaha R6. All right, it looks like that R6 went to the quarter at 85.5 and a half at a 107.2. And just went to the mile at a 121.6. All right, folks, we have to shut down track momentarily. We've got a little something going on here at the other end. Not a big deal. We'll be back up and running in just 1 minute or two. So hang tight, and more racing is going to happen in just in a moment. On deck, we've got vehicle number 124. That's going to be Curtis Adams in his blue 2022 Audi R8. All right, folks, while we're waiting for a clear track, I'd like to go ahead and remind everybody, make sure you swing by the registration tent and pick up your official Texas Mile merchandise. We've got a bunch of new event shirts and different hats and things for this event, for this particular event. But they will, even though we do have a bunch of sizes available, they will run out of certain ones. So don't wait too long. Make sure you swing by and pick up the size that you need and all the favorite styles at the registration tent where they sell official Texas Mile merchandise. Also, we will be breaking for lunch in a few hours, and we do have some food vendors here. We've got Letterbuck Barbecue, which sells all the barbecue fixes that you normally get. We've got a catfish vendor, and we also have a cigar vendor that sells 47 different flavors of hand-rolled cigars, and they have vapes available as well. We have Boostain Race Fuel on site. They're going to be the new official Texas Mile fuel vendor. They're going to have their own on-site sales location right next to the Tech Tent. Boostain Race Fuel, official fuel vendor for the Texas Mile. All right, looks like vehicle number 124 is on track. Looks like he did 178 and a quarter and 217 at the half. Looks like that was just a half-mile pass for that particular racecraft. He got out of it at the half mile. All right, we've got a 1995 Chevrolet Corvette making its way down the track. Looks like he did about an 81.3 at the quarter and a 134.7 at the half. Looks like he raised his personal best for this weekend for a 167.2. Back on deck is vehicle number 777. That's Ernie Soto and his 2024 Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. Looks like Mr. Soto is going to be trying to raise that personal event record of 187.3. Let's see if he can do any better this time around. Now, Mr. Soto is already a member of our 200-mile-an-hour club. He used to race a McLaren out here. like that Mercedes did a 131 at the quarter and a 155.5 at the half. And went to the mile at a 168 flat. All right, looks like on deck is vehicle number 970. That's going to be Trevor Campbell in his 2017 Audi R8 5.2 V10. Looks like he's trying to raise his personal best for the event of a 168.7. Looks like that Audi just did a 123 at the quarter and a 147 at the half. And a 168.9 at the mile. On deck is vehicle number 211. That's going to be Larry Copeland in a silver 2017 Camaro SS. Looks like this is the first pass for this event for this particular race machine. All right, looks like that Camaro SS did a 100 at the quarter and a 123.2 at the half. And a 148.8 at the mile. On deck is going to be vehicle number 7. This is going to be the first pass this event for Howard Coleman. That's going to be a white 1993 Mazda RX-7. All right, looks like that RX-7 just did 97 at the quarter and a 121.7 at the half. And just went to the mile at a 133.9. On deck is vehicle number 350. This will be piloted by Mark Horner at the blue 2017 Shelby GT 350R. All right, it looks like that Shelby GT350 just went to the mile at a 162.9. On deck is going to be Paul Lamb, vehicle number 721. That's going to be a 2018 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. This is going to be the first pass this particular event for Mr. Lamb. And it looks like Mr. Lamb just went to the mile at a 152 even. On the line is vehicle number 4362. That's going to be Vincent Westover in the red 2018 Lexus LC500. It made a few passes with us yesterday. Personal best of the weekend so far is a 154.3. All right, looks like that Lexus just upped the personal speed for the weekend to a 154.6. All right, back at the line is vehicle number 8. That's going to be Billy Underwood in a 2015 Chevrolet Corvette. It made several passes yesterday, but it looks like it is racing in his personal best for the weekend of a 170.8. All right, Billy Underwood just hit a 170.5, just off his personal best. On the line is going to be truck number 3248. That's going to be David Wellman in a white 1992 F-150. It's not something you see go down the event every now and then, folks. So this is going to be the first pass this weekend for this particular racecraft. All right, that old F-150 did 83 at the quarter. .1 at the half. .111.4 at the mile. All right, back online is going to be our current event top speed holder. That's going to be vehicle number 862, Brian Huffman, in his blue 2010 Ford Shelby GT500. He's got a personal best of this event of a 226.8. Let's see if he can raise that number right now. And he's off. If you're not paying attention to, you need to, folks. Look over on the track. Our current top speed record holder for the event is making it pass down, getting ready to go through the quarter-mile speed trap. All right, looks like that vehicle had a mechanical and needed to turn off. All right, folks, looks like we got vehicle number 1069 on track. That's going to be a gray 2012 Chevrolet Corvette Grand Sport. That speed for the event so far is a 164.2. At a 119.2 at the quarter, at a 146.8 at the half. Just went through the mile speed trap at a 166.2. Back on deck is vehicle number 420. That's going to be Randy Ray in that black 2009 Caddy CTSV. Looks like we're trying to get a better number than a 187.4 for this event. About a 128 even at the quarter and a 156.6 at the half. And a 186.2 at the mile. On deck is going to be vehicle number 423. That's going to be David Jakowski in a 2024 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. looks like that Corvette CL6 just did a 127 at the quarter and a 150 at the half. And a 170.7 at the mile. On deck is going to be vehicle number 316. That's going to be a grade 21 AC Cobra vehicle. That's going to be piloted by Tricia Moses. It looks like her personal best for the event is going to be a 140 even. All right, it looks like that AC Cobra did a 125.2 at the half mile and is currently entering the 1 mile speed trap, and it looks like they've got out it and coasted down. On deck is motorcycle 217. That's going to be John Burlow in a 2006 CBR 1000RR. Personal best for this event is a 165.5. All right, looks like that CBR just did a 136.4 at the quarter. A 153.4 at the half. And went through the mile to 163.3. On deck is vehicle number 1. That's going to be a 2008 Bentley Continental GT Speed. This is going to be piloted by Jay Archamombo. All right, that Bentley just did 111 at the quarter and 133 at the half. And a 159.3 at the mile. On deck is going to be vehicle 1909. That's going to be Steve Panaski in a 2025 Porsche 718 RS. All right, looks like that Porsche just did a 121 at the quarter and exiting the half mile at a 145.2. And currently going through the 1 mile speed trap with a speed of 165.4. Back on deck is vehicle number 777. That's going to be Ernie Soto in the 2024 Mercedes-Benz AMG GT, trying to best the personal speed for this event at a 187.3. right, it looks like the Mercedes just did a 161.7 at the half and a 181.8 at the mile. All right, online we have vehicle number 343. That's going to be Rich Waldrop and a white 2007 Ford Mustang. Looks like he's trying to up his personal best of a 153.4 for this event. All right, that Mustang just did a 153 even. At the line is vehicle number 68. That's going to be Robert Burke in his 2017 Cadillac CTS-V. He's already done a 190.4 at this event. All right, that caddy just did a 186.8. Online is vehicle number 88. That's going to be Bethany Burke and a white 2015 Camaro Z28. Looks like they're trying to raise a 170.7 personal best speed for this event. All right, it looks like that D28 just did a 120 at the quarter, 144 at the half, and a 166.8 at the mile. On deck is going to be vehicle number 1234, piloted by Scott Corliss. That's going to be an orange 2023 Chevrolet Camaro with a personal top speed of this event of a 198.4. All right, it looks like that Camaro just did a 196 even at the mile. At the line, this vehicle is going to be 911. That's going to be piloted this time by Remington Rayfield. That's going to be a white 2015 Chevrolet Camaro. He's looking to go a little bit faster than the 189.9 mile an hour for this event so far. All right, on track is going to be motorcycle number 89. That's going to be Russell White in a 2012 Hayabusa. Motorcycle personal best for this event is going to be a 192 even. And it looks like that Hayabusa perped the personal best to a 192.1. All right, currently at the line is 1950. This is going to be the husband of that husband and wife team, Ted Higginbottom. This is going to be a red 2013 Chevrolet Corvette. It's already done at this event at 225.3. It is going to be built and tuned by M2K Motorsports, one of the silver sponsors here at the Texas Mile. Let's see if Ted can get that track record back from Brian Helpman. Well, the 141.8 at the quarter, he is well on his way. 190.3 at the half. We could have a new top speed track event record. 222.6. All right, folks, look at that last driver had a little bit of orange light underneath him as it came through the sign, so we're going to check him out and make sure everything's okay. I can kind of see him down at the big end of the track, and it looks like everything's all right. But all our crash rescue personnel are down there making sure there's no issues, so until they get back on station, we won't run until everything's clear to go. So just hang tight for a couple minutes until we get everything under control. We'll be back up and running in no time. right, sorry about that, folks. We're handling a couple other things going on here. That was vehicle number 814, Patrick Hart, his 2023 Dodge Hellcat. Looks like he went to the half mile at a 124 and then got out of it. Right now we have vehicle number 30 at the line. That's David Palmer in a 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. Mr. Palmer has currently got a top speed for this particular event of a 208 even. All right, it looks like that Corvette ZR1 just did a 133 at quarter mile and a 169.7 at the half. And a 205 even at the mile. On deck is vehicle number 87. That's another Corvette. This is a 2016 Z06 piloted by Steve Altenberg. Looks like he's trying to up a personal best for this event of a 180.1. All right, that Corvette just went through the mile to 171.6. On the line is going to be vehicle number 454. That's going to be Greg Appellate in a blue, which was once in its life a 2001 Chevrolet Monte Carlo. Doesn't look like it's really that anymore. It looks like it's more of a and it looks like we did a 116 at the quarter and a 151.2 at the half and a 1 mile speed of a 182.2. All right, looks like we got a 2021 Dodge Durango on track. Just went through the half mile to 140.5 and the 1 mile to 162.1. All right, that's 2003 Ford Mustang SVT Cobra's on track. All right, that Camaro SS just did a 175.8 going through the mile. On deck, we have vehicle number 54. That's going to be Robert Eiselman in a black 2021 Camaro ZL1. Looks like Robert's trying to raise a personal best for this event of a 177.4. Looks like we got about a 113 at the quarter and a 144.9 at the half. And he just went through the mile at a 173.5. All right, looks like Gerald Wood is on track in that red 2006 Chevrolet Corvette. Just went to the trap at a 168.6. Right, I've just been informed that we have a car that's been moved, parked in grid that we need to have moved. Kevin Higgins, if you could please move your car out of grid. We've got a Kevin Higgins. Could you please move your vehicle out of grid? All right, vehicle number 781 is on track. That's going to be a blue 2016 Challenger SRT Hellcat. Just went through the mile at a 193.5. All right, currently on deck is vehicle number 175. That's going to be Malcolm Ward in a white 1998 Plymouth Neon. Looks like he's already gone through the quarter mile at a 115.1 and a half mile at a 139 flat. And just exited the 1 mile speed trap at a speed of 163.8. All right, currently on track is vehicle number 176. That's Tim G in a 2009 Shelby GT 500. Looks like he just went through the 1 mile speed trap at a 173.9. All right, vehicle number 83 is on the line. That's going to be a 2008 Chevrolet Corvette. Looking to raise a top speed of a 168.5. Looks like he's already to the quarter at a 114.7. And went to the half at a 146.9 and the mile at a 169 even. All right, vehicle number 308 is on track. That's going to be Joel Wilson in a black 2015 Challenger RT Hemi. Looks like we did a 109 in the quarter and a 131 at the half. And just went through the mile at a 153.5. All right, currently making their way down the track is Pierce Marshall in his 2011 Corvette Z06. Looks like we got a 133 at the quarter. It looks like we're decelerating at the half. once we're waiting for a clear track, we're going to have vehicle number 90 on track. That's going to be Tom Gimple in his white 2019 Chevrolet Corvette Z06. Looks like he's already done a personal top speed for this event at 198.4. 131.5 at the quarter. Half mile speed of 164.7. And 196 even at the mile. All right, currently on track, we're going to have a 2023 Chevrolet Camaro that's going to have a 6.2-liter supercharged motor. Best speed of the event is going to be a 198.4, but we have a different driver in it this time. Let's see what this guy does. And 185.8. All right, we got a 2022 BMW X6M on track. Looks like it's trying to beat a 166.4 speed from yesterday, and already going through the 1 mile at a 161.5. D28, piloted by Benjamin Wall. That's Tommy Faberglass in a 2012 Kawasaki ZX14R. It looks like his personal best for this weekend is going to be a 2:08. .147.6 at the quarter, 180.8 at the half. That's moving, folks. 203 flat at the mile. All right, on track we have bike number 1037. That's going to be a 2020 Kawasaki Ninja H2. Now that is a factory supercharged motorcycle, and it's already got a 194.7 for this event. And it looks like it just did a 199.5 in the mile, up in its best personal speed so far. On deck is going to be motorcycle 737. That's going to be Clifton Knight, the current top speed motorcycle for this event, at a 116.1. All right, that top speed bike for the weekend is on track. Getting ready to go through our quarter mile trap at a speed of 144.5. Just went through the half mile about the same speed, 147 flat. And still went through the trap at a 205. All right, back on deck is going to be vehicle number 62. That's William Thompson, a black 2012 Audi RH 4.2 Quattro. All right, looks like we did a 107 at the quarter and a 130.7 at the half. And a 153.6 at the mile. All right, Joseph Turk on motorcycle number 59 is back on track. That's a 2006 Yamaha R1. Looks like he's trying to push it just Yamaha R1. Looks like he's trying to push it just a little past that 169 personal top speed for this event. While we're waiting on Joseph to complete his pass, I do want to remind everybody at 12 o'clock we will be closing down for lunch. That's in 45 minutes. We will be up and running at 1 o'clock after that, so don't go anywhere. But I do want to remind everybody we will be shutting down for lunch at 12 o'clock. Looks like Joseph came in just under his personal top speed for the event at a 167.2. On track is going to be vehicle number 393. That's going to be Colin Goss, in his white 2013 BMW M3. All right, that BMW did a 107 at the quarter and 130 at the half. And just went to the mile at a 152.6. All right, bike number 112, piloted by James Garofalo, is on track again. That's that 2024 ZX-10R. Looks like he's already gone through the quarter at a 109 and a half at a 125.3. And just shy of his personal best for this event at a 149.2. On deck is vehicle number 82. That's going to be Mark Griggs and his 2019 Ford Mustang. This is going to be the first pass this event for this Mustang. Let's see what kind of numbers they put down. All right, that Mustang did a 109 in the quarter and a 130.4 at the half. Just exited the 1 mile at a 158.5. On deck is going to be vehicle number 86. This is going to be Charlene Erickson in a silver 2018 Lincoln Continental. Now, I know this is the first pass for this event for this particular machine, but it has raced with us before, so they should have licensing all taken care of. Let's see what they do on their first pass for the March event.